Acura has always been one of the underdogs that's always been laid on the side, only with a couple of cars like the NSX and the Integra being well known as a great performance car. However, this new TLX may be something different, and there's only one way to find out if this proves to be a good Acura. Real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Mazda of North Miami for providing me the vehicle I was able to show you guys today. These guys have a wide variety of vehicles ranging from the Miata all the way to the all-new Mazda CX-90. They also have some nice deals going on right now with the majority of their cars in inventory, so if you're looking for a nice, affordable luxury car, I would highly recommend you guys check out Mazda of North Miami. This is the 2021 Acura TLX, and I have got to say this is a really nice looking car. The designs on this thing is absolutely gorgeous, really looking like the old concept that they used to have a few years back, and the driving dynamics of this thing is very different compared to the original TLX, given the fact that this is an all new platform. Also has an all new engine, and we're on the 4th generation of the SH all-wheel drive system. And that's not all that's changed. Acura has really changed the interior in this thing, and this is something that I really need to show you guys.
Right now, sitting in the inside of the TLX, I have got to say this is a pretty nice interior. This is my first time ever really inside of an Acura. I've never really driven Acuras. I've never really cared about Acuras. But ever since the TLX A-Spec came out, like this particular one, not the last generation, this thing has looked really nice. I love the overlay of the interior, and I love the soft touch materials that they have here. It's not going to be like Mercedes quality or BMW quality or anything like that, but it still feels nice to actually sitting here. The sitting position, by the way, I have got to say, it's phenomenal. It's really nice in here. I sit nice and low, and I can see the hood pretty good, but I can also see the road very nicely as well. And the seats feel really good at the same time. You do have paddle shifters, and you also have a really crap ton of controls here on the steering wheel. This is a little bit of a shocker since I'm used to driving a lot of Mazdas, and I'm familiar with their controls because they're exactly the same thing. This is a pretty different set of controls. You still have your volume knob right here in the steering wheel, as well as your radio controls, Bluetooth as well, radar cruise control. It's expected to have this on a pretty luxurious car like this one. So, and you also have your nice paddle shifters, which actually look pretty nice. Your normal toggles for your signal, as well as your windshield. And you also have some controls here as well, parking radar, and you also have a little button here that can set your settings for blind spot monitoring, for radar lane keep assist and stuff like that. So it does come with an array of safety features. Now, what it doesn't come with, that the advanced package that I've heard comes with, is a couple little things like heated steering wheel, a little bit more seating adjustments. This is a 12-way seat adjustment as I was researching. So it's not going to be a lot of features here, but it doesn't matter. This is more of a sporty oriented car. Now, in the center of this, you have the nice screen that's right up front in the middle that you cannot touch with your finger at all. You have to use this little weird dial thingy that has been taking me forever because I'm old school, and this touchpad thingy is a bit annoying. It takes some time to get used to. I don't know how people can deal with this. It's quite annoying, but I guess people are used to using this. I'm assuming pretty much as you drive this car and as you really like connect with this car more and more, you get more used to it. So I'm not gonna really like bash on it too much. After a little bit, I kind of gotten used to it a little bit more, but that's just there. The reverse camera is nice though. It's actually pretty good. Decent resolution, but it's not exactly high resolution. I'd expected a little bit more quality out of this coming from an Acura, and brand new, they're around $50,000-$60,000. So there's that. You also do have auto start stop, the little enemy that everyone doesn't like really pretty much, but it's for fuel efficiency purposes. You also have your auto hold here, and you also have your drive select that looks similar to the NSX, which I do like. It actually has a little noise to it as well. Same thing with the touchpad. It has a little swift noise as you keep playing with it and stuff. Your shifter is a bunch of buttons that are very similar to Honda's settings of how they rate. It's very similar to the Accord if you ever sat in the Accord, so it's very similar to that. You also have heated and cool seats right here. You don't have heated steering wheel, but you have heated and cool seats, which is pretty nice to have. I love that. And you also have some nice ambient lighting around the interior as well. So I do have to say it's pretty good. Now, looking at the gauges, you do have half analog, half digital gauges up front, and they're completely red because it's an A-Spec. So that's something to keep aware of. They're always going to stay red. I think it looks pretty good. It does remind you of the old TL A-Spec that they used to have, or I believe it was, actually, no, I'm sorry, it's the Type S when they used to have that. So it looks pretty cool. That I like what Acura did, and that's pretty much it in the interior. You do have two cup holders here, wireless charging right up front, and in the center console you do have a power outlet right here, as well as two USBs. No USB-Cs, just simple USBs, old school. So I like that. It's pretty intuitive. I like it. The only complaint that I really have is basically the infotainment system. It does take some time to get used to, but this car does come with Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. So if you really don't like this weird looking infotainment system or whatever, you still have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto still to enjoy. So let's go check out the back seat. Right now, sitting in the back seat of the Acura TLX, my space is kind of limited. I can't really fold my knees anywhere in here at all, but if I set my legs wide, I am comfortable and I don't mind it at all. You do have automatic windows in the rear. You do have a little speaker here, and you do also have an armrest right here. So obviously it kind of hits a little bit with my thighs, but there's two cup holders here and a little storage compartment right here. And sitting right behind myself, I am comfortable as long as I sit my legs like this. I do have some feet room behind me, so it's not bad. From what I've heard, the previous generation TLX did have a little bit more leg space in the back, so that's something to keep in mind of, but it's not going to really affect your passengers that much. Headroom is good, so I cannot complain with that. Even with the sunroof right on top, headroom is not bad, and you do have some nice little lighting here as well that doesn't seem to be working. Used car. So that's just something to keep in mind of. Let's go check out the trunk and then let's get it ready to drive.
There's going to be a little button right at the piece of the taillight, but once you open up the trunk, you're going to notice a decent amount of space, specifically 13.5 cubic feet of space, which is not bad. And you also have some latches that are going to be placed on the side where you're able to take down the back seats, and you're going to have a little bit more space as well. Now, under the hood is going to be a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged motor that's going to pump out 272 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque.
This thing has a little bit of pep. Right now, driving the Acura TLX A-Spec, what does this thing like to drive? This is more of a different type of car that I'm used to driving a little bit because it's nice and low, it feels aerodynamic, and it feels pretty nimble, and it does have pretty sharp steering as well, so I gotta say that. I actually like this car. It actually surprised me quite a bit. Now, there are a bunch of safety features like, you know, the passenger seatbelt right now that's, you know, going off because my passenger, he refuses to ever wear the seatbelt or stuff. He's just, you know, he doesn't like real estate, I can tell. So anyways, like I was saying, what does this car like to drive? Well, this has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo motor that pumps out at least about 272 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken the torque, it's going to be right there up on the screen. But anyways, it does have that, and it also has SH all-wheel drive, which basically stands for Super Handling All-Wheel Drive. This is the 4th generation of Acura's all-wheel drive system, and I've got to say it's actually pretty good. You don't really feel much slip at all whatsoever. It's really good. It handles very well, and really there's nothing much to really complain about it. And in terms of suspension, right now I'm currently in normal. Let's go in comfort mode. Let's just see how much more fluffy the suspension is. So right now the steering wheel feels slightly lighter. It's obviously electric power steering, so obviously you're not going to really feel any type of connectivity with yourself and the wheels. However, it is lighter. It's still nimble though, but it's pretty good. And just driving right now at 30 miles an hour, it's very smooth. The actual suspension absorbs the bumps very good, and the 10-speed automatic shifts flawlessly, to be honest with you. And for a 2021 Acura, there's no problems with it. This is one of the newest transmissions that Honda has developed, and yes, the Accord does have something similar to this, and Acura does have a couple of versions of the 10-speed automatic right now. And wow, this thing is super light. Oh my god. In comfort mode, it's like it numbs the whole steering wheel. I'm not crazy about that. It's a little too light for my taste. So anyways, as I was talking about with the 10-speed automatic, this is one of the other versions of the 10-speed automatic that handles the all-wheel drive system. There is another 10-speed automatic that's out there for the Type S TLX, that is a little bit quicker than this particular one. It kind of shifts, sounds like a dual clutch, but it's not really a dual clutch, but it sounds like it, but it's pretty good. So that's something that I wanted to say right then and there. But other than that, this TLX is actually pretty good. I actually don't mind, and I actually would not mind driving something like this on a daily basis, to be honest with you. Acceleration is great. 0 to 60 happens at about 6.5 seconds. I'm not going to accelerate here at all because this is a neighborhood and stuff, so I'm not going to accelerate right here. But acceleration is pretty good. It actually kind of feels faster than 6.5 seconds. I know cars that accelerate around that time range and they feel significantly slower than this. This one feels a bit faster than that. So, but one thing that I really do like, and I'm loving how sedans are engineering this now. One of my favorite sedans right now out there is the IS 500. I've sat in an IS before. I love the seating position in that. This one feels similar, but it's not identical. By I mean similar, it sits really nice and low. You can actually see a good view of the hood, but it's not like it's like taking any type of space out of, you know, your view or anything like that. Like you can just kind of basically go around places and stuff, and you can still be nice and comfortable. And on a road trip, to be really honest with you, you're gonna sit really nice too. Honestly, you're gonna enjoy a road trip in this car and won't really have any complaints about it. The suspension feels really good. It feels really nice and soft. And honestly, on a road trip, it's not going to be any type of issue you're going to have. Now, gas mileage is another thing that I do like to talk about with this car. And gas mileage is improved compared to the previous generation of the TLX. The TLX before gave around maybe like 19 miles a gallon in the city and maybe 24 on the highway. This one gives about 21 miles a gallon on the city and about 28, about almost 30 miles a gallon on the highway. That's a definite improvement for the TLX. And with the 10-speed automatic, it helps a lot with fuel mileage, as well it has good low-end torque. So that's something you're not going to really have much of an issue with as you're kind of just driving this car. And if you have to do a little bit of pull, like let's say you're going on the highway and you have to reach up the speed limit, you're not going to have a problem with that at all whatsoever driving the TLX. Now, there's also the new TLX Type S that has came out recently. That has the twin turbo V6. I've heard that car drives a lot better and is more of a driver's car. I don't know how that drives. I'm probably not going to ever have access to that car in a very long time. But as a used car, to be honest with you, you're going to actually dig this car pretty well. Right now, driving this car for I would say about 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so and stuff, I gotta say, I really do dig this car quite a bit. I will admit, I like this a lot better than the Mazda 6, but granted, those are in two completely different categories. This one is in its own category. This rivals more so of the 3 Series, and the seatbelt's going off again, because my passenger, again, does not like real estate, as he's putting it on because he knows that I'm about to scream at him if he doesn't put a seatbelt on. Thank you, sir. Anyways, so, like I was saying, when it comes to something like this is a car that you kind of are interested in if you want something luxurious, but you don't want something that's crazy expensive, and it's also pretty reliable. Hondas are known to be pretty reliable, and this thing has 24,000 miles and it still drives like it's brand new. It's pretty shocking. I actually dig this car a lot, and it still has really good power. It sounds good. I don't know why, but the augmented sound that comes out of this car, a lot of people comment on this. Acura did try to make this sound like it's a V6, even though it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder coming from the Type R. Well, similar to the Type R. And it's not bad, but it's still augmented. So, yeah, basically, right? So, let me just put this back into normal mode. So, yes, it is a little bit augmented, kind of sounding like a V6 a little bit, but it's not entirely the end of the world type of thing. As you're driving this car normally and stuff, this will get you to point A to point B in style. And another thing that I really want to talk about is the exterior styling of this car. This thing is gorgeous. I love the way Acura has recently made their designs, and they have done a really, really good job in terms of their whole design language and stuff. Ever since they came out with that sedan concept a while ago that looks similar to the TLX, this thing is really, really nice, and I really dig the way this thing looks. And even then, even with the new MDX that's there, the RDX and stuff, and even when they refresh the NSX, I actually really like the way the new NSX looks. And they have a Type S model as well for the finale for that supercar. So I really hope Acura does get some stuff together I really hope that they really improve most of their cars. The Integra has just came out recently as a 4-door sedan, and the Type S Integra is going to come out really soon, and that thing looks like it's going to kick ass. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen next with Acura, and hopefully maybe one day I get to drive newer Acura products. You know, I'm very thankful that Mazda North Miami has actually provided this car for me, as this car is a pre-owned vehicle and they have it up for sale currently. So if you are interested in this particular TLX, go check out Mazda North Miami. They have this car currently in stock, has 24,000 miles on it right now, and it drives really, really good. Feels brand new to me, to be honest with you. AC is nice and cold, and whoever owned this car has definitely, oops, sorry, that's bumpy. And whoever has owned this car previously has definitely taken care of it. So guys, if you're really interested in this car, check out North Miami and Mazda. Please subscribe and like this video. It does help me out, and we're gonna try to be pumping out more videos. And there's gonna be some different significant improvements as we are making a massive adjustment with a lot of stuff. So hope to see you guys again soon. We'll be starting off really soon with some new products coming out. Cheers.
Acura's really acing it with the image that they're trying to prove, and that image is really improving their brand as a whole. With the TLX Type S already out and the Integra Type S already been released, this is a really, really good time for the brand, and this TLX has shown it. Until next time.